Leave. Just for a bit, we're going to work on this, and then we'll get more to the chat voted for builds. Because I've realized what we need. Make sure we have an open top as well. Want to get this as a blueprint. See how this goes. Still can't get mesh in there. Yeah, need it. We can get this in. Still don't think that's going to be enough. Maybe. Guess not. Just not. In top. All right, we can do that. Maybe. And we can at least do like this. At least sort of looks like we could keep something small in. Now we can just get this all in line. There's actually a smaller one on top, I forgot. They do weird things sometimes. Dimensions for these are often along the edges is fine. Just right, let's get this going. Get rid of those hinges. How do we get back to that way? Kind of crazy, actually. There we go. We might be able to do it with this one. Maybe, just maybe. Yes, we can. Let's see. Pretty good so far. Well, let's actually get this floor put in place. Oops. Right. Now. Finally. Finally get all this, hopefully. So baby's got the hiccups, so if you hear something, that's it. Let's make this all fair. This one very much so looks like screen didn't mesh. Alright, let's get this all placed in. Alright, there we go. Yay. Alright, let's see. Should be everything. Blueprint it in. Oh, buddy. Oh, buddy. Come on. Relax. Baby's not happy. Hey, good morning, Monkey's Tavern. Welcome to the stream. Baby is not happy with me. Come on, buddy. Fine. He's got the hiccups. Oh. It's been good. Been busy. Alright, let's get out of here. Actually, I want to upload it to the... Do you want to upload it to the... Hey, buddy. Try this. Okay, he's not a fan of that. Right? Okay, what about you just lay flat? That's it. Can almost guarantee he won't like that. We'll see. Loading that to Steam. Let me get a copy of that and put it in. No, give me a second, guys. Right, give me a second to give him the wall. think he's calmed down a little bit. So I'm here. I'm gonna have him and his bouncer. But we can chat a little bit while he's falling asleep, hopefully. But yeah, how's everything going, everyone? Go ahead and vote in the polls if you wouldn't mind. It does help out. Nice. Nice, 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 nice. Yeah, we're just trying to survive. Like, we'll go to sleep, so we'll chill. Be good. Oh. I say that. Come on, bud, you're okay. I think he lulled me into his false sense of security, but they're almost done. Milo. Yeah. The dog wants to be all up in the baby's face. Fighting sleep so hard, I can see it on his face. Yeah, really the majority that needs to be done on that is a bit of foliage work on the red wolves. And backstage areas. They're pretty much done. Let me see if I can actually show y'all. Alright, bobcat habitat it is. Oh, come on, baby. So, this is the red wolf habitat. This still needs some work out here as well. Of course. I'm gonna go see if he needs a diaper change or something like that. I'll get y'all to one of the viewing points. I'll be right back. Thanks, Joseph. Might have calmed down. We'll see. But yeah, Monkey's Tavern, you still here? I can kind of show off this. Cabin has progressed quite nicely, in my opinion. Forgot how much I love the floor in here now that it's stone. Alright, sweet. So yeah, so I do like the Red Wolves enclosure. Thanks. He's not fine. So you get your second viewpoint here. Then here's the coyote habitat, which I actually think I prefer so far. Then we've got a bog turtle terrarium. He's not happy. Okay, so he's not drifted off to sleep yet. But he's chilled a little bit. Then we've got a striped skunk habitat here, which I'm pretty proud of as well. He is not chilled yet. Okay. It's like he can't decide if he wants to be chill or not. Then this is our white-tailed deer and wild turkey habitat. Where are the wild turkey? There's one of them. The other one inside. No? In there. There's one there. And then we've got the fisher in here. So we gotta finish that. But y'all voted on working on the bobcat habitat, which is going to go here. And the second part of the habitat's going to go here. So let's get on that. Let's not get on it. Alright, I need to take care of him. I thought he might chill down, but he seems like chill is not in the cards right now. Sad thing was, I know he doesn't need anything. He's just crying because he wants to cry. That's kind of going to be the structure of the fence. Alright, I'll be back. I don't know if I managed to put him to sleep, but we'll see. My instinct says no, but and the answer is no. Guys, I don't know what to do. He's just fussy today. I'm gonna try and bob him just here. If he'll chill. Hopefully he will. Good for yet. Oh, man. Okay. He needs to be held by me. Well, I can get him to fall asleep. But we can still interact with chat. Yeah. How's everyone been doing? Anyone been playing Jurassic World Evolution 3? Have you been enjoying that? We'll get back to that next week. So Monday. And then we should be going back to evening streams on Tuesday. I'll have to check with my wife and see if that will work with her. Everything's still so new. Might do a few shorter streams to start off with, and then we can end up with 3-hour streams. Just hold him here. Okay. My bad. Okay. Okay. But he's only happy if my hand is at the back of his head. Weird. He's so spoiled. Now he's not even happy with it. Bouncing up and down. Got his polar bear onesie on. Hey everyone, how are you doing? I'm just trying to get my baby to go to sleep, so it's kind of chatting right now, but we're working on a bobcat habitat for the moment. Once we actually get some work done on it, we can hold another vote. Probably just bring those lines across. And Reptile House is something we could get started on soon, because I've got a blueprint that I made that's going to be pretty good for working on that. Little man, go to sleep. Yeah, see? Almost 3 weeks old, so he's still very new. And he does not like mornings anymore. He used to be fine sleeping in mornings. Nowadays, he's cranky. So he doesn't get that from me. I am a very much an early morning person. Wake up at 5 o'clock every day. Hey, thanks, Dutch Lion. I've heard a lot about you. I follow you on TikTok. I just haven't gotten around to watching a bunch of your stuff. Sorry, I'm putting my baby to sleep. Well, that is quite cool. Let me see if I can. Let me see if I can show you bits of my zoo with one hand. Cause wait, baby just fell asleep. Hold on. Okay. Okay, so we're doing like a southeastern United States. I am. So this is a modded zoo. This is the start to our fisher habitat. We still gotta do all the foliage and stuff, but um, great mod by Great Cakes Mods. And then this right here is our eastern wild turkey and white-tailed deer habitat. So we're kind of going for a low to mid-range budget zoo. And then this is our other project that we're kind of working on at the moment, which is the Appalachian Conservation Cabin. Thanks. Climbing frames are something else. Yeah, we've got red wolves in here. So she's not looking very red. the male back here. Yeah, so this is their backstage holding area. And this is... So they're supposed to be able to rotate with coyotes who are in here. Oh, nice. Thanks, Blob. Yeah, I need to actually go through your series. I have it saved on YouTube to watch. I just... Right now, time is at the minimum. Yeah, this is our coyote habitat. And then they can rotate as well with the North American black bear. And then we've got our cougars over here, which is probably the most... I mean, it's most definitely the most expensive. He was not asleep. He was not asleep. I got a 3-week-old, and so at this moment we're streaming when baby is in the morning so that mom can get some sleep. Okay, well, guess we can just chat while you're okay, buddy. You're okay. Yes, very little. And very much trying to figure out how he wants to sleep. It's like a different thing each day. Yeah, this viewing gallery is probably my favorite that I've ever done. I mean, this habitat's my favorite that I've ever done. Oh, nice Monkey's Tavern. Nice, nice, nice. We're about to work on this bobcat habitat, which is gonna look similar to our coyote habitat, I think. I haven't seen a live bobcat in the wild, but I have seen a dead one back at my parents' house on the side of the road, and they live very much in a suburban area. Yeah, blah. Thanks, Dutchline. I just finished a blueprint today, which is going to be really helpful for these low-budget zoos. I can just... maybe have gotten a little bit more time. But yes, blueprints. My blueprints. Okay, I think he's actually asleep. And he just startled himself awake. He gets that. I don't know if y'all can hear that, but I'm so excited. I can't even... Oh, here it is. Took a terrible, terrible picture of it. So this is going to help us with our reptile house. Basically all the common terrarium sizes. In vertical, horizontal, and open top or front opening enclosures. This is a aquarium building that I'm basing off of the Tennessee Aquarium. I would say loosely, but not very loosely. When we here we talk about Alabama rivers. I think snapping turtles are gonna go in here. I need to measure it and make sure it's big enough for 2 snapping turtles. But then we've got some bigmouth buffalo, some lake sturgeon. And they're blue catfish, but they're supposed to stand in for... Or no, they're channel catfish, they're supposed to stand in for flathead catfish. And then this will be a through tunnel for North American river otters. And you'll probably go outside for a bit. Have a small little aviary for barred owls, and then some more tanks over there. But I'm not sure exactly what's going to go over there. Let's get to work on our bobcat habitat, because we need to get that finished so that we can put something. Hey, Joseph. Doing good. Just think I've maybe finally gotten the baby to sleep. Maybe. But now he's stirring. Bob, I think. Okay. He was, in fact, not asleep. I think, yeah, you were here when I was starting work on this fence. But yeah, this will have. So true. Oh, cool. Wait. So did you move from North Carolina back to Michigan? I know North Carolina does not have Canadian links. Yeah, we're not going to talk about the mess that is the ceiling for this, but it works. And if you don't look too close, it looks good. Ah, cool. That is very cool. Okay. All right, let's see. Oops. Bob, somehow you made my baby the most relatable person in the entire world. Liking mesh. I know, mesh is awful. Yeah, moose are terrifying. Moose are absolutely terrifying. They're super cool. You're okay. You're okay. He's in this room. But supposedly that's good for the baby. It's just not good for me. That is terrifying. So you're in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. Shame there's no Wolverines there anymore. Not that you'd ever see one, but gentle rocking the baby to sleep, and he's be perfectly fine. Going to sleep. You're feeling very, very sleepy now. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. I'm so beyond hyped for it. So beyond hyped. I think even if they just improve the lighting engine to what they have in Jurassic World Evolution 3, I'll be pretty happy. Joseph, do you mean Moose, Wolverine, Lynx? And technically the answer to that is yes. Is that you don't want to meet any of those in the middle of the night. Though I think I'd be more terrified of a moose than anything. Especially a cow moose. Yeah, no, they definitely do. I'm trying to keep my hopes super realistic. I don't want to get my hype for the game so just crazy that when it doesn't deliver, then I'm going to be upset. So I'm just going to say scaling and lighting engine, and then I'll be pleasantly surprised with everything else. That's my way of making sure I don't get disappointed. Because we're almost guaranteed scaling, and we're almost guaranteed a better lighting engine, because they have it in both of their current games. As much as I want PC2's pathing system, even though I've never played with it, but I just hear it's great, with Jurassic World Evolution 3 not having the same pathing system, there's always a chance that we don't get that. There's always a chance we don't get. Exactly, Joseph. So I just try not to get my hopes up too high for the game. Yeah, nothing you can do about it with that. What poundage is your bow? Exactly, Joseph. And considering they didn't really botch the Jurassic World Evolution 3 release, I doubt they'll botch the Planet Zoo release. Just not be may not be what everyone's hoping for. Oh, you're good. Um, what's the poundage on the bow that you had? Would that even be enough to put down a moose, even if you had the heaviest arrow or a heavier arrow? I was gonna say, I don't think it matters no matter what kind of arrow you got. If you got a 60-pound bow, I don't think that's doing anything to a moose. Maybe tickle it. I don't know much about bow hunting, but I know something about military bows because I love medieval history. So Considering my ancestors would have fired 120-pound longbows, then to be fair, you get way more mechanical advantage with modern bows. So I'm sure you get some advantage there, and with better arrows. But I would not be trusting a 60-pound bow against moose. Do they even bow hunt for moose? Like, is that a thing? I don't know. Again, I've never hunted. Interesting. I mean, I've done some archery, never hunting. To be fair, I had a longbow. It was a really light longbow. No, I didn't have a longbow. I had a composite. I wanted to have a longbow. My brother had a longbow. Oh my gosh. Jab set. All right. Thanks for tuning in. I'll have to make sure to follow you on Twitch. I didn't know you streamed. We'll have to make sure to do that. Yeah, very cool to. And thanks, Blob, for sending them my way. Much appreciated. Just feel bad that half the time it was me putting my baby to sleep, but life is life, I guess. I don't know what we're gonna do with this, but I don't know if that's true, Joseph. Hmm, I get that. I can see how that would be something that would be not guilt-inducing, maybe a little bit with like you enjoying yourself in the with the cabin, but then it's also a reminder. Those kind of look like concrete slabs. And we'll probably cover it up with some ivy or something. Blob, I'm gonna do your favorite thing to do, and that's walk through tunnels. Walkthroughs or walkovers. Hmm. They can look so good, and yet they're always such a pain to put together. Question is, can a bobcat fit through that, even when it's climbing? Yeah, we need to get a actual bobcat in here, because they are somewhat small. I think they're the smallest lynx species. Crap. I guess we could put it in like there. Might just do that. But it's not. I'm pretty... I think we've got some great wildlife here in North America. I know it's not as crazy as, like, Africa or some regions of Asia, but we've got some pretty cool looking animals. Pretty cool looking animals. Who's staff? Joseph, so... Oh, don't... What is River Monster on right now? But Joseph, a longbow... Longbow... you really won't get... Longbow... Modern ones are still going to be difficult because kind of the definition of a longbow is it doesn't have the fancy like systems that like a composite bow or a compound bow, sorry, compound bow has. So now there are lighter longbow weights, like there's 40-pound longbows, but Bobcat. I love how both of their names is Bob. We're going to change one of their names to Blob. My local zoo's Bobcat's name was Bob, but we're going to name him Blob for the lulz. So I hope you're still here, Bob. Because this one's for you. Here, buddy, put him back. There we go. I was wondering, that door looks a little short. Well, you know, longbows originate in England, which pounds is what they use. So, just like the tiniest bit larger, maybe. Let's see. Actually, that's perfect. That is perfect. That is indeed perfect. Joseph, if you don't mind, where do you live that you use the metric system? You do mind? No problem at all. Now that I think about it, I can actually convert. So, like, a heavy long bow is 264 kilograms, whereas a light one might be 88 kilograms. No, no, that's the wrong one. Divide by 2.2. The heavy one is 54.5, though I think some have been reported to go up to 90. And then a light one would be 18 kilograms draw weight. I don't really know if it makes sense because kilograms are a unit of mass versus weight, so I don't know what it would be in newtons. If that helps you out. Oh, hey, Joseph. From Israel. I mean, I should have gathered from the Hebrew, but you know that that makes sense. Israel's actually got some um, cool wildlife. Like I think y'all have onagers. I know y'all have some species of gazelle. I think meter long sec. Though actually, no. I think y'all have honey badgers. Though I've looked, and most of the zoos that are there are not super impressive. Unfortunate, but let's see. I'd really like to get flexi color climbable stuff. Of course, we could do this. And it kind of looks similar. Yeah. Mm. Yeah, I know, but I do think Israel has some big conservation programs from what I hear. Because they've done some reintroductions, I think. Yeah. That is the way that things go. I think I like that the best. Hmm. Of course, I could be wrong. You probably know more about the situation than I do. Lob. Wow, that's a good looking mod. Very nice looking. Guess I should first line this up here. Lining all that up. Lining all that up. And yes, there are Josephs everywhere, but a Joseph in Hebrew. Hmm. Is it like a Persian leopard? I'm trying to think of the subspecies in that area. Or is it an Anatolian leopard? There's the African, the Indian, the Javan, the Arabian. It's locally extinct in Israel. Persian. Oh, it's the Persian or Anatolian. It looks like it's more northern. Ah. Okay, so it looks like they probably... Let's see. That's a somewhat recent picture from Israel. Okay, last leopard sighting in Israel was 2010s. But they do have a nature reserve in Yotvata, Ibar. I could be pronouncing that completely wrong. But... Alright, enough about the Arabian leopard, as cool as they are. We did it, guys. Now we just gotta see if they can actually... I'd like to... get some... Let's get the climbing frame in here, and we'll see if we still want to work on bobcats. These guys can climb, right? Yes, good. They couldn't, that would be quite upsetting. Climbable from North America biome. Hmm. Hey, what if we steal one of these at least? Yeah. That checks out. They're called leopards are called panthers frequently. Also, where I'm from, these guys are called panthers. Where is he? They're also called lions. Yeah, we call these guys panthers. I think if you're a little bit more in the backwoods, you might even call these guys panthers. Might even call these guys panthers. I have to assume he uses the Eurasian lynx. Yes. It's got the Guinness World Book of Records, so that um for that. So but here they're called Panther. Which is funny because they're not part of the Pantherid genus. Yeah. So Joseph, I guess I always thought you were. So are you a big animal guy as well, or because I always thought of you as my Warhammer fan, which we will get back to Warhammer. So if that's true that you are more interested in Warhammer, then don't worry about that. But are you also a big animal nerd? Because you seem to know a decent amount about it. Let's see. It's the bobcat. We've got it. Baby might be waking up, but it's okay because it's probably close to feeding, so that means we can just hand them off for now. I just want to use that to get them to come over here. I just want to make sure this works. Yeah, he can get out, whatever. Where's our bobcat gone off to? Okay, so it is a little, just a little too skinny for. No big deal. Oh, you're okay, buddy. It's okay. Come on. He's getting hungry. He's farting a lot, so he's gassy. Let's select all this, buddy. Okay, he wants nothing to do with that. I'll be back in a bit. You're okay, little man. Alright, catch y'all in a bit. All right, I see all your messages. Cool. Well, appreciate you for tuning in, even if it's not necessarily like your number. Why did I do that? Sometimes my idiocy surprises me. Sometimes my idiocy surprises me. Come on, game. I'm glad I can be your work stream. I do the same thing. This is for the Bobcat. We're just creating a walkover tunnel for him. But I made it a little bit too short. Just a hair. Which, fun fact, that is the main food item for the Bobcat, is the hair. Yeah. Well, it's a mod, but this is Blob, the Bobcat. Named for Digital Blob, the content creator. Yeah, no, it's a mod. I wish we had them in game because they're a really cool species of cat, but we've got quite a few in this zoo. Just because it's supposed to be Southeastern Zoo, and there's only a couple of Southeastern animals in the game. So it would be a short-lived process. But how are you doing, Cliffy Show? Cliffy Show. Yeah, I was gonna have to use a coyote mod, and then I added the coyote for me. Um, the ocelot mod, because we're also doing like animals that used to live in the southeast, and the ocelot did used to live in the southeast. Good thing is that we know that this tunnel works. Now it's just make it as nice looking as possible. So I probably should put a poll up just to see. Yeah, southeastern North America. It's where I live. So wanted something that was kind of close to home. Because there's not too many zoos where around. Oh, nice. Oh, cool. My grandparents lived in North Carolina for a time, and I've got My wife's family lives in North Carolina. So, I'm familiar. Are you more on like the Appalachian side or more on Eastern North Carolina? If you don't mind me asking. That's a little bit more. Come on, let me select this. I myself live in Alabama, near the middle. Okay. Yeah, her family lives in Raleigh, and when my grandparents did live up there, they lived more Cashiers. So more. They lived in the Appalachians, which is really helpful because it's helped me with my more Appalachian style habitats because I kind of know what it looks like. This is one of my more Appalachian style habitats. This is the Appalachian Conservation Cabin. Because the zoo is based in southern Alabama, but it covers the areas of Alabama, Georgia, and Florida. And then here is probably the most Appalachian of the habitats for our cougar, which are extinct in the Appalachians, but I just had to do it. And since, gotcha, it's a big state, so where did our cougar go? Fill up the entrance. There she is. This is my best habitat yet. Though these three are pretty good, if I do say so myself. And then we're working on this one. Alright, let's get this going. Let me put up another poll just so that y'all can vote on what we work on now. New poll. Hey, Matt. Nice. Thanks for tuning in. Right, poll is started on Twitch. Let me start one on YouTube. Right, poll is in YouTube as well. We'll run both of those for a little bit. Make y'all's voices heard in the polls to determine what we're working on. As for right now, we'll start trying to finish off this habitat. You eventually want 2 bobcats in here, but no, it is sometimes called the fisher cat, but it's a species of marten. They've been extirpated from the southeast, but we needed to finish the foliage and backstage area for these guys. For this guy. So this is a fisher. It's one of the larger species of martens. I'm realizing I need this over here. The guy has a little bit of privacy. Eventually we'd like a female in here as well, but yeah, apparently in Europe they're a huge problem. I mean, martens are really cool. I love martens. To be fair, I love pretty much every mustelid species, so. But the fisher is one of the few animals that actually actively hunts out porcupine. So we're also going to have porcupine in that area. Now, the one thing about this area... Oh wow, everyone's liking the idea of carnivore backstage. We've got votes on Twitch and on YouTube saying to do that. Before we do that, let's... Oh, that's hilarious. That's funny. Hmm. Really don't know how big we need the reptile house to be. Probably pretty large. wonder what species we could have in here. I'm trying to figure out. I do think the layout looks pretty good. You could have a couple of habitats, or... I'm trying to think of small mammals. I guess we could have some bird aviaries. This could be like a songbird area as well. But I do like the idea of it being this shape, I think. I think. We'll see. I regret that later. The poll's ending. Yep. Results. Got carnivore backstage, okay. And 2 votes for carnivore backstage on YouTube. Okay, that's 3 people signing carnivore backstage, so we'll get to that in 1 second. Let me just get these. Get the foundation. Yeah. We will make sure to work on that backstage area. Hey, thanks for the follow. So, the backstage area over here. A few things we need to do. First, we need to merge these groups together. Change the color on these. So that it matches with our other stuff. So the red wolves can pass through here, no problem. The coyotes can pass through here, no problem. I believe. Let's just double check, make sure. Correct that they do, in fact, move through there. Yes, they move through there. Still haven't figured out exactly what we want to do there, but the biggest thing next... Okay, so they can't go that way. The next biggest thing... They're really supposed to be that way, but that curve is too sharp, I guess. So in real life, they'd be able to move across there, but that's no problem. Now, the biggest problem is going to be getting the bears through here. sure all this is solid as can be, because don't want some bears running havoc in the backstage area. Um, that placed in like so. That like that. Alright, so now get the bears exactly where we want them. We're gonna have to do something very similar to what we did in the Bobcat and create a climbing frame. Because otherwise they just will not fit through here. And realistically they should. So what we need is what we'll probably use is some sort of board like this. Or like this. Why that would be climbable. Just give us like a 1 meter. Alright, let's see. This is what I've been dreading all this time. You guys made me do it. It needs to get done, but Love to see these guys moving through these tunnels. Oops. Let's see if they can actually use this. And I guess we'll just use this. I guess we'll just use this. Yeah, it's kind of brutal. We got the Formosan black bear and not the American black bear, considering it's so common in zoos. It's been my most heavily requested animal for a while. And if we don't get it in Planet Zoo 2, I'm gonna be upset. It needs to be the first animal they show us. Wonder, does anyone know of any like games conferences or whatever happening in early next year? They said we'd hear more about Planet Zoo 2 next year, and I'm hoping, but it's early next year, not just next year. That's my hope. That's true. That's also true, but it is spectacular. Oh, that's another animal that I don't have to use a mod for now. So that's definitely getting added in here. So can they... So can they not climb this? lying to me? Seems like it might be lying to me. Hmm. Red Fox was a really good addition. Looks great. I need to finish their enclosure after I kind of work down. Guess we're gonna try this. Before you get too far, though, I want to see. There we go. All right. Cool. Well, hope you enjoy the show. I don't know how much longer we'll be going because we're meeting with my. I have a newborn, and so we're introducing him to his cousins this evening. So, no, exactly how long we'll be streaming today, but we'll see. All right, let's see. Ball sack. Wow, yeah. Thanks. He just got to see his great grandfather yesterday, which was pretty cool. My grandfather's 93rd birthday. Yeah, it's kind of crazy he's lived that long. And, he almost lost him several times. appendicitis. Crazy. Yeah. I think a lot of the other families heading out to see him tomorrow. But like my brother and his other great grandchildren that are in town. Hopefully. Gosh, this is awful. But see. I swore that they had emerged. So is this habitat upset? No. This habitat that's upset. Actually, that is a little weird. Let me put in my brain. Alright guys, give me a minute. My mom's calling me. Alright, we're back. I think I've got this all situated. Okay. Maybe. That was my mom just saying how happy my grandfather was. Because he went in hospice this year and we were afraid he wasn't gonna get to see the baby. We're very glad he did. I don't know why he'd be able to get out over here, but you know, Mashing Planet Zoo sometimes it's just weird. Hopefully he won't actually be able to. I mentioned how much I don't want to do this backstage. And grand plans and all that. What's this one? Uh-oh. Needs to be a continuous line. Why would it be acting up now? Come on. No, I want to keep that overlay on, please. Oh, my wife's ready for me to take the baby. Alright, guys, it has been fun, but I do need to end the stream. Let me just see if I can get him to go down this hill. My wife's awake and wants breakfast now, so. We will check. Let's make sure. Bye, Joseph. Let's just see if we can get him down the stairs, and then we'll raid out.
Candy bacon.
Oh, that was. There, fancy bacon. Fancy bacon. Okay. Will not go down that. There we go. Just get him down this hill, and I'll raid us out. Made pretty good progress today, though. Let's see if they can come down there. Alright, let's see. There we go. Alright. That's what it's going to look like for now. This will be their backstage area. Alright, let's find someone to raid. Okay, let's see. And we'll raid out into this guy. I wish I knew how to do it in. I know you can in YouTube somehow. Right, let's raid out.